Iba yung stress kapag yung alam mo na malapit nang ma-expire yung visa 'no, and nakadagdag pa yung stress sa mga changes na nangyari ngayon. Siyempre na-limit yung mga options mo kung papaano ka pa mag-i-stay dito sa Canada. Hello guys, Nardino TV again, and we are back again with another video. So makita nyo guys, medyo malamig na talaga. So for several days napaka-foggy dito sa amin. So expected naman na yan guys, kasi nga papasok na ang winter, no. So dito sa British Columbia, napansin ko for the past 2 years, bago mag-snow or bumuhos ang snow is laging foggy. Yan. So kung makikita nyo dun sa mga past natin ng mga videos, laging ang background ko foggy, di ba? Kahit no sa North Vancouver po, foggy na. So, expected na yan. So, probably in a few weeks or few days, makaka-experience na tayo ng unang buhos ng snow dito sa British Columbia. Anyway, so ang topic natin for today guys is yung regarding pa rin sa immigration. So, dahil dun sa mga changes na nangyari for the past months, right? Yung sa mga policy changes nila, and we know naman and we feel na ang Canadian government is really slashing the numbers, no. So talagang pinapababa nila yung mga papapasukin ng mga immigrants dito sa Canada. And with all those policy changes, di ba, what would you expect? Siyempre, mawawalan ng mga options yung mga nandito na to extend their stay here in Canada. So parang ano yan eh. So let's say naka-student ka, since ang daming changes doon sa policy, 'di ba? Nalilimit ngayon yung options mo to extend your visa or to go in a different pathway para makapag-stay ka pa dito sa Canada or eventually get your permanent residency. Now, dahil nga doon sa mga changes na yan, guys, sabi is nasa 4.9 million ang mawawalan ng status or ng visa dito sa Canada, and kailangan nilang umalis ng Canada, right? Kapag hindi sila nakakuha ng kanilang status. Yan. So, yan yung pag-uusapan natin ngayon today, guys. And merong Parliament Immigration Briefing, right? Na kung saan tinanong si Mark Miller about sa plano nga dito sa 4.9 million na to. So, pag-uusapan natin to ngayon, guys, no? And sa totoo lang, medyo hindi ako satisfied dun sa mga sagot talaga, no? Kasi this is something big, no? 4.9 million, and nararamdaman ko, guys, yung sentiments nung 4.9 million na yan. Kasi pinagdaanan din namin yan, guys. So, we are also immigrant dito sa Canada, no? So, iba yung stress kapag yung alam mo na malapit nang ma-expire yung visa, no? And nakadagdag pa yung stress sa mga changes na nangyari ngayon. Siyempre, na-limit yung mga options mo kung paano ka pa mag-i-stay dito sa Canada, di ba? So kaya medyo nakakalungkot lang yung mga sagot talaga ni Mark Miller. Pero let's see, guys. Pag-usapan natin yan today.
One eternity later.
Hello guys, and we are back again, guys, no? So, sabi ko nga kanina, pag-uusapan natin yung mga questions kay Mark Miller with regards dun sa 4.9 million immigrants na mag-e-expired yung visa by 2025 next year, December next year, no, guys? So, very important and straightforward yung mga questions, guys. And sabi ko nga kanina, medyo disappointing, no? Kasi nga, walang maibigay na proper measures, proper plan kung ano ang gagawin doon sa mga 4.9 na yun, no? O yung 4.9 million na mag-e-expire na yun. So, ang unang question, guys, is napakasimple, no? Na yung sa 4.9 million na yun, yung mga mag-e-expire na yon. Kung uuwi man sila, paano matatrack ng government kung nasan sila? Kung nakauwi ba sila, nag-change sila ng visa, those kind of things. So yun yung questions. Ako guys, ang take ko dyan bilang nasa IT field, no? Meron naman tayong data readily available to us dito. Like pag kumuha ka ng SIN number, kumuha ka ng health card, driver's license, di ba? Pino-provide guys yung status mo dito. Like us, nung kumuha ako ng SIN number ko, nung naka-open work permit pa ako noon, kailangan kong isubmit yung aking permit at nakalagay doon kung kailan mag-e-expired. Right? So, kung merong data ang government, so, ang kulang na lang is the application or yung system kasi meron ng data na magsusupply para i-track down or i-connect ko yung mga immigrants na mag-e-expire by next year. 'Di ba? Yun lang naman yung aking comment. But let's hear kung ano yung sinabi ni Mr. Mark Miller dito.
Mr. Your department tabled documents with Parliament that show that 4.9 million visas are going to expire between September 2024 and December 2025. How will we know how many of those actually wind up leaving?
As you noted, MP Kamich, that when people come here, in many of their visa documents, they undertake to leave. As part of the levels plan, there will be some visas that are temporary in nature that will not be renewed, and those people, when they undertook to come here, will be expected to leave.
So yung next na segment guys is actually, ito yung nag-viral sa social media, no guys. Ito yung sagot ni Mark Miller doon sa question is, paano kung, or ano yung expected doon sa 4.9 million na yan na mag-e-expired yung kanilang visa. And then, ang sagot ni Mark Miller is, ang expectation with them is voluntarily mag-e-exit sila pag nag-end yung kanilang visa. Well guys, it's a good perspective, no? Na talagang meron siyang trust doon sa mga 4.9 million na yan na mag-e-expired, na talagang they will be honest, no? So, meron talagang integrity. Sana kung ganun, di ba? Pero kasi, ang question kasi ni Tom, or nang nakakarami, paano ngayon itatrack ng Canadian government yung 4.9 na yan kung talagang sila ay mag-i-exit o hindi? Diba? Yun lang naman ang question But let's see kung ano yung sagot ni Mr. Mark Miller.
Will you ensure that a person whose visa has expired will leave? We know that just on study permits, there are 766,000 expiring by the end of December 2025. How will your department ensure that at the end of those study permit periods, those persons will leave?
There are many ways that people leave the country, Tom. The vast majority leave voluntarily, and that's what's expected.
So explain those ways. How will you ensure it?
We work with our partners, including CBSA, to investigate, obviously, and prosecute those who violate immigration law. If someone refuses to leave, they're in violation of the law, and CBSA, after due process, has the legal obligation to remove people. Again, this isn't something that is taken lightly, but in the vast majority of cases, those people that have come here temporarily and do not have the right to stay, in fact.
So yun naman pala, no guys. So yung 4.9 million na yan, hindi naman talaga yan talagang aalis or mag-exit ng Canada, no? Kasi yung 4.9 million na yan, guys, maraming mga changes na pwede ring mangyari sa kanila. Halimbawa, yung mga nasa sa student permit, 'di ba? Syempre kung makakuha sila ng PGWP or ng work permit, or let's say katulad nung sa case namin na yung SOWP is nakakuha ng work at na PNP at naging PR. So talagang hindi yan lahat is aalis ng Canada, no? Possible lang, right? Pero meron pa ring mga cases na talagang kailangan nilang tignan. Tulad guys nung mga international students na nagpa-file ng asylum, 'di ba? Paano ngayon 'yun itatrack ng Canada na talagang they are honest with their claims, right? So yan yung isang mainit na questions, no, na again hindi na naman nasagot ng maayos, ng malinaw ni Mr. Mark Miller. Pakinggan natin, guys.
who will be on a study permit that's expiring. So those who are expiring the end of December 2025, how many of them will actually leave? Are you saying 100% will be expected to leave, or are you going to send CBSA to chase all 766,000?
You know that that is not what happens. There are a number of things that occur. Some people actually get renewals. Some people get postgraduate work permits and stay a longer period. And we do work with CBSA to monitor these things. And when Statistics Canada reports on these, they take into account a whole variety of factors in estimating how many people are here and how many people have left.
So at the end of this year, 2024, how many international students do you expect to leave, and how many have left so far when their study permits expired?
How many have left as
So far.
of November today? We don't
Or
have
October
that number.
1st? Can you provide those to the committee?
I don't know. We could look into it.
Minister, how can you not know? It's in the immigration levels plan. There's a bunch of charts on page 22 starting about temporary resident immigration to Canada, persons who are in the country. It's in the immigration levels plan. It's in there. So how can you not know what that number would be? There's an order paper question. These government
Grabe, no, guys. Makikita mo talaga dito, sobrang nagigisa si Mark Miller, no? And meron din naman kasing point si Tom, guys, no? Kasi nga, paano mo sasabihin na hindi mo alam? Eh, part lahat yan ng immigration plans mo. All those numbers na tinatanong ni Tom is actually nanggaling din sa kampo nila Mark Miller, di ba? No? So, very unfortunate na hindi niya masagot yung mga ganyang questions, no? At saka, guys, yung mga numbers and graph, lahat yan, guys, is makakatulong doon sa kanilang planning.
documents that were signed by your parliamentary secretary that were tabled with Parliament that has the numbers. So there's supposed to be expiring study permits in December 84,642, and then in November 36,130, in October 10,182, in the month before 127,348. So how many of those people are still in the country? How many have received the renewal, and how many of them have CBSA now looking at them?
What I can provide to you as a number is the expected decrease over that period over the 3-year period, which is about 450 the first year, 450 the next year. That's net incoming and outcoming, with a slight increase in 2027.
So so how are you going to track then those whose work permits are expiring by the end of 2025? Again, it's in the hundreds of thousands. You're not giving me much confidence, or Canadians confidence, that you have a plan, because we have a breakdown by month how many student visas and work visas are expiring.
Matindi yun, no, guys, na sabihin niya na ang mga tao daw is nawawala na ng confidence, di ba, doon sa kanilang plano or yung sa mga policies and changes na pinagagawa nila dito sa Canada, no. And again, kung mapapansin nyo, yung mga question talaga is about numbers, statistics, measures, at kung paano talaga nila ita-track down. And I think, guys, with the technology that we have right now, kayang-kaya yan, guys. And sabi ko nga, napaka-centralized na po ng database and data na meron ang Canada, no? So kaya, again, tingin ko, ang kulang lang talaga is yung application or yung tools na magmamanipulate dun sa mga data na meron tayo dito sa Canada, at hindi malabo yan, guys.
And you haven't provided any information on the means. How are you going to do it? You say you have partner organizations, you're working with people. What are you actually doing? What's the process? How are you going to ensure people abide by the visa conditions?
Just like the vast majority of people that come to the country on a temporary basis, the vast majority leave. In some cases, increasingly many, I will concede, people decide to choose. They are in a situation of irregularity in that case. Once they have exhausted their remedies, they are removed by CBSA.
Well, that's interesting, because you've made public statements repeatedly claiming and saying and alleging, based on IRCC data, that is not what's going on. And that's why the IRB now has a record number of backlogged applications for asylum. And you have said that tens of thousands of them are actually international students who are staying longer to applying for asylum. And you're claiming they don't have a legitimate claim to make. That those are your quotes, the headlines you're generating by doing communications out there. So are you saying you don't have a plan, that this is part of your plan to have an increasing backlog at the IRB to deal with it?
There are an increasing number of international students making asylum claims, I think with very little hope given their conditions. They, whether you like it or not, are entitled to a form of due process in this country. I don't think you would purport to deny it to them. Are there things we can do to make sure that's more streamlined? I would encourage you to...
Actually, guys, totoo naman siya doon, no? Yung mga nag-file po ng yung mga international student or kahit na sino na nagfa-file ng asylum, I really think na they have the rights, di ba? Na mag-undergo sa tamang process, sa due process, right? But ang question kasi guys dito is paano itatrack ni Canada na talagang legitimate yung claims, di ba? And yung mga numbers na yan, like yung 4.9 million na yan, yung mga questions kung ilan na yung nakaalis, ilan yung mga nag-change na ng visa and everything, those are the numbers that they need. And I really believe na yung mga numbers na yan, guys, magagamit talaga nila yan in planning, no?
Follow the next few weeks as we propose more amendments to the immigration system and the asylum system. But let's recall that every party in this House, except for the Liberal Party, voted down our asylum reforms in the budget. A bit shameful considering that Conservatives had proposed these in earlier years, but you chose to play politics about it. This is a system that is in need of reform, and it's in need of reform in the right way.
So, yun guys, yan yung nangyari dun sa immigration briefing nila, no? At yung mga sagot ni Mark Miller regarding dun sa question sa kanya about dyan sa 4.9 million immigrants na mawawalan ng visa by December 2025, no? And guys, ang take ko dyan is, sabi ko nga kanina, yung mga data na meron tayo dito sa Canada is actually, I believe, centralized na yan guys, no? So, kailangan na lang natin ng application designed for the tracking of those immigrants na mag-expire by 2025, no? Today is what? December 2024. So, meron pang 1 year, guys. Right? I want to give the benefit of the doubt. Right? Kasi, kung titignan nyo guys, yung 2024 ngayon, ang daming policies, ang daming changes na nangyari with regards to immigration dito. So, hindi malabo guys na mabigyan din nila yan ng solusyon. Yung lahat ng questions kanina, possible yan na ma-address with the span of 1 year. Baka nga in a few months lang or few weeks, di ba? Magkaroon na sila ng sagot about that one. So, hindi malabo yan guys. Kasi, sabi ko nga, technology is here to help. And tingin ko we are expecting more changes, especially guys dun sa mga tao na nagfa-file ng asylum. Tingin ko yan yung uunahin talaga nila guys, no? Based na rin dun sa sinabi niya kanina. And guys, I am really hoping no na talagang ma-solve nila to, no? Kasi sana ma-solve in a very peaceful and reasonable way, no? Kasi sana maging win-win, no? Win sa government kasi they are really fixing the immigration right now, right? And 4.9 million is a big number, 'di ba? Sana din win din dun sa 4.9 million na 'yan na makakuha rin sila ng reasonable answer, reasonable way kung paano sila makakapag-stay dito sa Canada. Pero I am really hoping na sana talaga, 'di ba, ma-solve to in a peaceful manner. Okay? So yun lang guys. Thank you again for watching and see you again on my next video. Peace!